I also serve as the director in charge of standards and quality assurance, from a position that I have held from the beginning of this year. Previously, I worked for the county government of Nandi as the acting chief officer in charge of health for about 8 months, and was also the chief officer in charge of tourism, culture, and cooperative development from 2014 to 2018 when my contract ended. Before that, I served as a principal in Kerotet Girls, a position that I held for about 5 years. And previous to that, I was a principal at Kesup Girls. And before that, I was a teacher. And I have a working experience in the public service, more so in the teaching for over 25 years. And I do other community work. I do a lot of things with churches. I am currently the deputy chair of the board of directors in Kapsabet Bible College, AAC Kapsabet Bible College. And before that, I have served up to last year when I went back to teaching. I had to relinquish the position of chair, board of management of Kamanyinya Secondary School, and deputy chair of board of management of Laborate Girls. I was also a member of the board of Ndalat Girls. I have served in several education committees, and I've also served severally in church organizations. That is what briefly about myself.
Thank you. Maybe if not, you should also tell us about your academic qualifications.
Yes, I hold a Bachelor of Education. I'm currently a student at Catholic University, a master's in education management and administration. I haven't completed. Before that, I also hold a Kenya Certificate of Advanced Education, that is A-level, and from Moi Girls, Eldred, A-level, O-level from Kapsabet Girls. And in primary school, I went to Kamanyinya and Kipkaren primary schools.
Thank you, teacher. Now you can tell us why you feel you are suitable for this service board. That's remembering that you've been in a very senior position of CEO, CEO for tourism,
Yes,
CEO for health, acting,
yes.
and now member of Nandi County Public Service Board.
True.
Why do you feel you are suitable for that?
I have a wide experience in public service management. This is a position that I feel I am competent and qualified enough to serve in it. It is service to the public. This is my county. Counties are being established. Thank God that devolution is here with us. And I would be very happy to be part and parcel of those people that are helping to establish the systems for posterity in this. I have gained a lot of experience along the way in management of persons, in management of resources, and I feel I qualify for this particular position and can help to establish very many things as we establish the public service in this country.
Okay, I was wondering, you are CEO,
Yes.
and then you went back to class. How did you manage the same?
Wow. Okay. When counties were being established, Teacher Service Commission, which is my employer, was allowing teachers to go and work with the counties depending on the period that was given on the contract, and so they were granting leave. So I was granted leave for 4 years, which was coinciding with my contract term in the county. And when my leave ended at the expiry of my contract at the county, I reported back to the commission because that is where I have been serving. And so going back to the classroom, I'm naturally a teacher. and it is service to society. It does not matter where you serve. You can serve in whichever position, in whichever level, so long as you are offering service to community.
Thank you. I can give a next member.
Karibu sana, Madam Eliseba. Maybe I would start by saying there are several people in this county that have been looking for this position.
Yes.
What is the magic behind you getting this position to be nominated? Now you are CEO, you acted,
Yes.
your tenure ended, you are here.
True.
What is the magic?
The magic is performance. Let me tell you, I have been in Moi Girls for barely 1 year, and I have already been appointed a director of standards and quality assurance. Why? I am a performer. Wherever I have worked, I have left a track record. Even in this county, I believe the accounting authority must have looked at what I did previously, and therefore was appointed to this position.
How would you respond to people who might say it is the who is who in society that you know that made you to be here?
And that is very normal. It is very natural. People will always associate that maybe you have got this position because of that. And how to respond to it, it is natural. And so, but I think you can prove yourself by the kind of work that you do. I am very sure if you peruse through my documents, you can also see the number of the recommendations, the awards that I have won. And so it is really merit.
Fair enough. County Public Service Board is an independent body
Sure.
that whose mandate is to look at the workforce for the county of Nandi.
Yes.
If given this position as a member, how would you maintain that independence? Now knowing that this is a position you have been nominated by the governor,
Yes.
a politician, you will be approved by the assembly, politicians.
True.
How would you maintain the independence of this particular body?
Thank you very much. The County Public Service Board, just like the Public Service Commission and any other commissions in this country, are independent in the sense that they draw their mandate from the relevant regulations and laws, from the Constitution. That is one. And then number two, the fact that this is a body that can be sued, it can sue. And thirdly, if you want to really be independent, it depends on how you manage the resources. So first of all, it begins with the freedom to manage your resources, including financial resources, so that you don't have to kind of like you're bending. And then look at the appointment of the Public Service Board. It's a 6-year contract that is one term. So it is not pegged on a political regime. It transcends it. Therefore, the fact that it's one term means in itself, it is sort of independent because you're not going to fear, oh, I'll not be nominated again the next time or something like that. And the best way to deal with it is just to be professional. It is to adhere to professional ethics. While at the same time, yes, the appointing authority, we acknowledge, but you have to consult where it is necessary. And the decisions of the board are not done by an individual, they are made as corporate. So it's not one individual that is deciding, it is the whole committee.
Fair enough. How would you rate the performance now that you have been in the system?
Yes.
How would you rate the performance of the outgoing service board members, and what would be that thing that you would want to bring on board to make sure that we have it right in the areas we might not have it right, had it right?
Thank you very much. I'm a teacher. And teachers always award marks. They always check the performance of any person. Having been in the system, given the circumstances that were there, this was the pioneer it's sort of like they were clearing the bush for the next generations. And I would say they did fairly good. And to me, fairly good as a teacher is anything between 65% and 80%. That is fairly good. But there is room for improvement. Given the circumstances, I believe they did their best. Whatever else was happening, notwithstanding.
What is that you think you would bring on board to make sure that they are now perform excellent, now that you are talking of fairly good,
Yes.
and that you accept the challenge there, that this was the first regime clearing the bush.
Yes.
Now that the bush is cleared,
Yes.
what is this that you want to see in a county public service board that would actually even improve the image of the same?
Thank you very much. And you know, the benchmarks that have already been set. The benchmarks are some of the independent commissions, even at national level, even the Public Service Commission. Those are the benchmarks. And so there is room for us to improve. Our predecessors, should I be appointed? Should I be allowed? Should I be approved? Our predecessors have taken the County Public Service Board to the level where they did. And so for now, it is to build on them, to be professional, to be more, you look at some of the things that have not yet been implemented and implement them. Bring the Public Service Board to the level where there is pure merit, there is pure professionalism. Bear in mind this, that previously we had two governments that were merged, the local authorities and the national government, the central government, so it were. So right now, it is to look at what are some of the things, after 6 years, what are some of the things that are working, what are some of the things that are not working. And so we look at the situation as it is, look at some of the things that need to be improved and strengthen them so that we have a better public service.
Lastly, you've been in health. You have had issues even with the remuneration of staff in health.
Yes,
Now, the position that you held then was that of a chief officer in charge of health.
yes.
Now that you are in the service board, if approved, how do you intend to handle these issues, these wages and salaries issue? And by extension, looking at the entire wage bill of the county,
True. Thank
what
you.
would we advise now that you would be the one? Now, I know where you sat then was to push the service board to like accept the pecs that the health department
Yes.
were requesting. Now that you would be in that position, what would be your advice?
Thank you. Can I take you a little bit back? Remember when I took over the health docket, even the nurses were on strike at that time. The clinical officers were threatening to go on strike. The doctors were also threatening to go on strike. And remember, we were the first county and we did a lot of negotiations. Not that we looked at, in fact, one of the things that we looked at was they were asking for promotions and every other thing. And we looked at our budget at that time. And when we saw the budget was able to accommodate a little promotion. In fact, for some of them, they had even passed the ceiling. So that when we looked at them, we worked it out, there was something very little to add on to what they were already earning. So that is one thing, is to look at the budget and to advise in the way that, you see, we are guided by laws, we are governed by regulations, we are guided by what has been allocated in the resources. And so when it comes to public service, there comes a time when you need to rationalize so that you have efficiency, at the same time you maximize on the resources without demotivating the worker. And so you look at the resources that you have. And this worker should be able to generate enough resources even for them to be remunerated well.
Lastly, during your tenure, there were some union officials who were subjected to disciplinary process. Is that true?
Not during my tenure per se. I don't remember any.
Are you aware of some official of the nurses union or actually that was subjected to disciplinary action because of their stand in terms of advocating for their better terms for their cadres? Are you aware?
I don't remember, but if there was any, I'm sure there was reason for it. Because a process of disciplining staff is outlined in the law. And it cannot be that you do something punitive unless they have breached something in the law.
Okay, thank you, Chair.
Thanks.
Thank you, Honorable Gideon. In our midst too, we have Honorable Rael, who is MCA for Kapsimatwa.
Yes.
We have Honorable Magdalene Rono, MCA for Koyondurio.
Yeah.
We have Honorable Nyauntu, nominated MCA representing minority. Honorable Justin Jamiango from Songo Soba. Honorable Fred. I can see it's like our women have really come in solidarity for you. And
Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Ladies.
Now I welcome Honorable.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. So, welcome, Madam Eliseba, to this panel. My first question, Madam, will be this way. I've just gone through your CVs and I've just found out that you are the most senior. And in terms of education, of which also most of us went, there is in your explanation, the recent team might not know in clarity the whole level, the high level that you took, and even the system that could allow you to go to NYS before you could go to university. Can you explain pivotally on the same, because the systems tend to change from time to time?
Sure.
Yeah.
So, sorry, you asked me a question to explain?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That system of education, which was, it was called 7423. That system, you did, like as we went through the system where there was no even nursery school, we didn't go to nursery school per se. And then we did 7 years in standard 1 to standard 7, and then from 1 to form 4, and then from 5 and 6. And then from there, you could go to the university directly, or you could go, like for me, I did 1 year diploma, sort of like a diploma in education before I proceeded to the university. I hope I have answered your question.
Yes, you are almost, but there was a time that you would be taken through the NYS before you went to university. Did you also?
I did not go through NYS
Okay.
myself. Instead, I went through a diploma, an education diploma college.
And then you have. It's a question again. Most of the teachers, most of the members who have come here from day one to this last day, they have excelled in terms of their teachers. What is actually the unique thing behind this? Because this has been a question that has come into my mind. Why has it been teachers all of the time? What role are they playing in our society? You can explain, because you are one of them.
Thank you so much for that. I mean, all of you here who are seated have gone through the hands of a teacher. All of us at one time or other have gone through the hands of the teacher. And I think the teacher plays a very pivotal role in society. They constitute, I think, the largest labor force in this country is in the teaching profession. And so if you have a bigger sample, if you threw out your net, even into a fish pond, chances are you are likely to catch the one that has the highest population. And probably that explains why.
Thank you. And then I heard that since you were there in the previous also government, and at least work was done. And being a member that you are here today, how do you rate yourself during that the positions that you held during that time? And now that so that maybe as a panel, we might know in future if approved the position that whether you have had it or still stagnant.
Thank you very much. One thing about myself is I am a performer. I am results oriented. Whatever I am assigned to do, I do it with all my heart, with all commitment and dedication. And that probably explains why, if you are in a place and you would like to have efficient work done, you are most likely to give additional responsibility to the person who does it well, who does it in the best way. And for me here, even as I am here, I believe that given an opportunity, I will still excel and do my best. By the way, for your information, I'm sure you have perused through my documents. At the time I was exiting as a principal, I had been named the best principal, the principal of the year. And you will also see I have won several accolades. Even as a teacher, I have always excelled up to the provincial. You've even seen some of the photographs. And whenever I am given an opportunity, I'll do my best.
Thank you. There's one question that I want to ask you. There has been a serious problems to do with payment of cleaners working in hospitals, as well as security cards. Despite various interventions by the assembly, no tangible action has been taken. If your nomination is approved, how will you address such a matter? And also that showing that you have been there in the previous government.
Thank you very much. I think there's something that needs to be clarified. At the time when I was in the Ministry of Health, cleaning services had been contracted. And so it was being done by a person who had been awarded a tender to do it. And so even the payment of the workers, and you know the problem with even pending bills, and I think there was a challenge to do with cash flow, even for the person who had been given the services. And as at the time that we were exiting, that we were leaving, we had made recommendations that in future we don't subcontract or we don't contract the services unless, but employ people that can work in the hospitals. And I believe, because the last time I checked, I think the positions had been advertised, and I think they had been the persons had been shortlisted and interviewed, and I think probably maybe they're waiting for the budgets to pass them on, because I think the interviews were done. That is my understanding. And this is a thorny issue. Remember, the hospital is a very sensitive place. And if there is a place that really needs to be taken care of, is the cleaning services in the hospital. Very vital. The doctor can treat, the nurse can take care of the patient, but if the place is not clean, there is greater risk of even more diseases. And so that is an area that really needs to be looked into.
So thank you, Tech Chair.
Thank you so much, Honorable Bambok. I don't know. I want to give you to the other honorable members an opportunity. I'll start with Honorable Fred. One question, then move like that.
Ya kwanza nashukuru madam kwa kuja kufanya mitihani hapa kujaribiwa, lakini ningependa kushukuru kwa sababu tulikuwa na wewe kwa ile serikali. Kwa mimi sijasikia chochote, tulifanya kazi na wewe mpaka hii wakati mwingine ukaendelea. Yangu tu nikwambia pongezi, uchikaze. Kama mitihani ni ngumu, baadaye nitakupatia marks yako.
Asante. Asante.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Fred. Mheshimiwa Nyauntu.
Thank you very much, Majority. I just came here in solidarity to see how my fellow women is presenting herself before us. And it is my wish that in case she qualify, let her not let us down. We want good work from her. Thank you.
You have my promise.
Thank you, Honorable Nyaundu. Honorable Nyaundu is also a former principal,
Oh,
a
yes.
teacher, colleague like you.
Thank you.
Mheshimiwa Magdalene.
Thank you, Chair. I've also come in solidarity because when I heard that she's inside, and from the experience of the past when she was in the other regime, I saw her work so hard, and she had a touch for women, and that's why I've come to cheer her up so that she can be encouraged. And I wish you the best. And in case you are taken in, and I hope you will be taken in,
Yes.
I was wondering now as a mother and I'm an humble woman, I was wondering if you would let us down. But I hope you will be fair enough. If you are going to go to public service, you practice fairness for all. Thank you so much.
True, and we are in Korgia together. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mheshimiwa Magdalene. We have Honorable Joshua Ngetich, MCA Kosirai.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Although I have just come in, I want to say that God is good because I have come at the right time. I know Madam very well as a God-fearing lady, and I wish she will be considered, and I know that she will be fair to all the residents of this county. So I want to wish her well in advance. Thank you very much, Honorable Chair.
Thank
Maybe
you.
Honorable Chair, you've talked of your excellent performance in previous position that you've held.
Mhm.
I'm left wondering, this lady doesn't have any weakness at all, because you've talked of the positive. Could you please share with us some of the weaknesses that you feel you have because we are all human beings?
Yes, we are human beings, and most of the time, people will judge you. Probably those who are looking at you will state the weaknesses. I'm trying to scratch through my mind and find, as I evaluate myself, I'm not very sure unless you tell me. Maybe in my interview, you probably maybe will observe me, and then you tell me this is your weak area. Like sometimes it might be difficult to look at. Do they say the log in your eye and you're able to pick a speck in your neighbor's eye or something like that? So unless you, but yes, we are human beings. We have our own weaknesses. I may not point out on one at the moment.
I think you are not being sincere, because
Wow.
at any point in time, you have something that you might think that you are doing the right thing, but sometimes you can be having something that you feel always let you down as a person. You wanted to do something, but there is something that as a person but if you say you can't figure it out from your mind, fair enough, that is good.
Now, let me tell you something. Sorry for that. I mean, you said I'm a God-fearing person. Yes, I am. There's a verse in the Bible. If we say we have no sin, we deceive ourselves. We lie. It is true. So there could be a weakness in me. I only said maybe I may not be able to point out at now, but probably with time it comes out. But I tend to be, in my dealing with people, I tend to be very strict. Yeah, I tend to be very strict. And sometimes maybe that's my weakness. I tend to be a perfectionist as well. If I am doing something, I want to do it perfectly. And I think that could be a weakness too. Thank you.
Honorable Fred.
Nafikiri vile madam amesema, yeye ni strict kweli, na yeye tena hawezi akakuficha ile kitu umemwambia, atasema live. Yeye kuna wakati amekuwa kwa kanisa ya AIC station. Nafikiri kule mambo ilikuwa ngumu, lakini ilibidi yeye aongee ukweli, na kuna mambo ilifanyika kule kanisani. Nafikiri hiyo ndio kama ni weakness yake, yeye ni mkali zaidi. Asante sana.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Fred. Tukimalizia Mheshimiwa Trufosa Kudo.
Thank you so much, Leader of Majority. I have arrived when I'm late, when you are going on.
So mine is only to wish our lady best of luck, because we have been thinking, we have not seen one who is going to represent us. So we are happy, we are glad that you may be through so that you can represent all women in this county. And I hope you will do the best. As you have said, you are a Christian. Let your Christianity be seen. And you have said that is your weakness about being so strict. That is not the weakness, it is the strength, as to me. So I have nothing to say. It's only wishing you the best. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, honorable members. I think we've come to conclusion. And maybe before we conclude and give you an opportunity to give us your parting shot, we are not the final as a committee.
Sure.
This is a committee of appointments. It will do a report. The report will come to the county assembly, and the entire county assembly is the one to decide. If they adopt the report, you count yourself successful.
Yes.
But we are praying for you that this assembly approves your name.
Thank you.
Otherwise, we give you 1 minute to give us your parting shot.
Thank you very much, Chair. I really appreciate you, members. Thank you for allowing me to come before your panel. And thank you for a lovely and lively interview that we have had. For my colleague ladies, I promise I will not let you down. That you can have my word. We have been there. And I know sometimes when we talk of gender issues, and as you rightly put it, I seem to be the only lady. Thank God for devolution. Thank God for the new constitution, that even we as the women will have a voice. I am longing for the day when we will not just say the women, constitute a third, but that it will be even more than a third for us, but of course for equal chance. Otherwise, I hope that I will be approved to serve this county, this great county of ours. Thank you.
Madam, while you are giving birth shot, we have our leader of minority. Just join us. Thank you so much. We want to wish you the very best. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate.
So the session stands adjourned.